Hey everyone, it's me, Ari Dawson, Kwame Rashid. Hit the like button, share this video, become a member of the channel, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, donate the links below. Thank you very much. Quick message. We need to learn to look beyond someone's statement. If someone says, I'm tired, okay. People can be tired. I mean, if you work all day long, of course you're tired. In this case, it's in context. You're tired because you work all day long. You don't even need to give an explanation. But if it's early in the morning, someone slept for 9 hours long, and they tell you they're tired, now you check, you slept for 9 hours and you're still tired? Something's wrong here. You need to check yourself. There's something with your physical health that doesn't add up. So the statement, I'm tired, itself is not problematic. But if the context cannot justify it, now it's problematic. Now, some statements are problematic in themselves, but we don't realize how problematic they are due to how we were raised. So we've been brainwashed in this cultic mindset to not notice danger or bad intentions from people. Now, this does not mean that you automatically never pick up danger or never notice something's off with people. No. Just see it like this. If you grew up in a household where you were never allowed to talk to your parents unless you're allowed to talk to them, your parents were quite controlling over you. And anytime your parents went too far, screaming at you, shouting at you, hitting you, instead of them apologizing, repenting, look for therapy and improving, they would blame you or they would act like nothing happened. Now, you also complained about this to other people and they told you, respect your parents, don't talk bad about your parents. So your parents were wrong and the environment collaborated with the wrong of your parents. So the environment facilitated child abuse on you. Now, this harmed you, but because as an adult, you have a job, you pay taxes, you have no criminal record, you think you ended up perfectly fine. No, you didn't. Because now you have this unrest in you that you're unaware of. And everywhere you go, you carry this unrest. Now, you unconsciously, you're not doing it on purpose, but you project this unrest onto other people. Let's say now you see teenagers being very open with how they think and feel, especially when it relates to older people, including their parents. Now you get shocked, because anytime you act that way, you got victimized. I don't care if you call it discipline, it was victimization. Because your parents and those other adults will not treat fellow adults that way. Why they treat you that way? So instead of you admitting that you have been damaged by the way you were raised, you project this unrest onto those teenagers. Well, when I was younger, I always showed respect. These young people have no respect. You are just looking away from admitting, you just look away from your own defects because you don't want to admit that you've been damaged. So you develop this cultic mindset saying that you just have to allow older people to victimize you if they're in a position of authority. That's what you're stating with your attitude. Of course, you might not say it directly like that, because if you would openly say, people that are older than you with a position of authority have a right to victimize you if you don't make it easy onto them. If you would say it like that, people think, what the heck? Even police officers look at you and think, what the heck is this? You may be arrested for your own good and put in a mental asylum to get treatment. Of course you wouldn't say that, but that's what you believe, because your behavior shows it. By you complaining about the young people, especially nation having no respect to older people, you actually saying is just that younger people just have to give in to older people unconditionally. That's actually what you're saying. That is what's behind your statement. Now, if people only listen to what you're saying, children and teenagers, they have no respect. When I was younger, I always had respect. What are you doing? You're comparing how you behaved to how children and teenagers are behaving right now, and you disapprove of it. But you never give arguments why the way you behaved was right. Now, they behaving right now is wrong. Just say, well, I showed respect. What? So because you gave in, often without examination, to how adults behaved to and what they wanted from you, now these young people have to do the same thing just that you feel good on the inside? Look, am I improving bad behavior from teenagers? No. One thing, no human being should have to walk in eggshells just to make the psychological ease of another human being easier. If human beings have psychological issues, need to go into therapy and look for help. You as an adult should not walk around being terrified that someone else may be upset that something bad may happen to you. Shouldn't happen. Now, if an adult should not walk on eggshells concerning other adults, why should minors, children and teenagers have to operate this way towards older people, even if older people are their parents? It doesn't add up. But hey, you keep saying, oh, they don't have respect, they don't have respect. You just want people to shut their mouth and never complain when society is wrong. Because that's what you do, because you don't admit you've been damaged. So now you want others to be damaged just like you, so that you don't have to look at yourself. So this whole being upset with, oh, these young people, they have no respect, it's just you deflecting from facing yourself. So you're facilitating narcissism and narcissistic abuse on others just because you don't want to face yourself. But a lot of people would only look at your outward statement. They won't look at what's behind your statement. Okay, let me make another example. Let's say someone would say, all Chinese people belong in China. Someone would make a statement like that. Okay, Chinese people originate in China, indeed. But you also have the Chinese diaspora who has been outside of China for generations. Think about the Chinese community in the United States, for example. They have American citizenship, so even certain U.S. military. For you to say Chinese people belong to China, okay, if it's meant as an ethnic, about ethnic origin, that's true. But then you have to say they originate from China, officially. But to say Chinese people belong to China, just like that, without any context, you're actually saying that they don't belong anywhere else. And if they don't belong anywhere else, that simply means that you don't want them anywhere else. So that's a racist, xenophobic statement over there. Let's change it. You say blacks belong in Africa. Okay, but you also have a lot of blacks who for generations have lived outside of Africa. Some for centuries. Think about those who are descendants of the transatlantic slaves. So for you to say blacks belong to Africa, actually saying is you want them to be in Africa alone, you want anywhere else. Okay, another thing. Let's say someone would say the Jews need to have their own homeland to be safe. Now they add the context to be safe. So as you're saying is that Jews are not safe outside their own homeland, Israel. And if you say that as a European, actually what's behind your statement is you don't want them around you. You want them to have their own place of tourist site over there where they're safe. So actually you're hinting that they're not safe if they're amongst you. If the Second World War ended, and it did, and you guys say never can Auschwitz, that would mean that Jews should be able to live everywhere on the earth and be safe. But the fact you insist that you need your own homeland to be safe, and that's why you're pro-Israel, actually, that's hiding some ethnic hatred over there, covertly. So you have a lot of people who are anti-Semitic towards Jews, but they cover it up with this pro-Israel stance. Listen, Chinese people should be able to live everywhere, and they should be in harmony with the environment. Okay? They shouldn't be committing crime and things like that, but they should be able to live everywhere. Blacks should be able to live everywhere. Jews should be able to live everywhere. Europeans can live everywhere if they're in harmony with the environment. For me to say, these particular type of people belong here, they belong there, means I want to put restrictions on human life And that means I'm willing to become violent if my restrictions are not validated. And that's how the world operates. We often look at the statement alone. What's beyond or behind the statement? Why are they making the statement? Why they make the statement right now? What's the timing of the statement? Again, someone telling you, man, I feel tired, or I'm tired. Feeling tired and being tired are two different things, by the way. What if someone says, well, I'm tired, and they just woke up? If they didn't sleep well last night, okay, justified you feel tired. If they slept for 9 hours long and still feel tired, okay, you need to go to see a medical doctor. Simple as that. If someone says things like, well, I don't care what others think about me. Now, some people may perceive that statement as being empowering. Wow, this guy's mature, this woman's mature. They're not bothered what others think about them, but hold on a minute. As human beings, we need to be in harmony with one another to function. So you should consider how other people think and feel about you. Because if other people think negative about you, if they think negative about you, they're going to feel negative about you and they're going to treat you in such a way. Try to start your own business or look for a job or just move to any neighborhood and people don't like you or think bad of you. See how your quality of life will be. And here's another thing. People that truly believe that what others think about them is irrelevant. Look, what others think about you may be irrelevant to God's blessing of your life. When the Heavenly Father blesses you, what others think about you doesn't matter because you're blessed anyway. Or let's say I got a master's degree in some field. What others think about me achieving it is irrelevant because I already got it anyway. So what others think about you may be irrelevant to certain things. But you can't say what others think about you and feel about you totally irrelevant. Because that goes against reality. You're out of your mind if you believe that. And another thing, some people will make such statements with others, I don't care what others think about me or what others think about some of my business. What they're actually saying is that they are unbothered with how they affect other people. People don't just think about you a certain way out of the blue. Even if people are racist or in bigotry or in xenophobia towards you, it's because of how they were raised. And you triggered something of how they were raised, and that's why, or something they agree with, that's why they act that way towards you. Now, in this case, it's all them, not you. They're the ones with the xenophobic prejudices, not you. But you still have to deal with it in a proper way. I mean, if people look down on you and you don't counter their negative attitude, you'll end up victimized, you'll end up a scapegoat, it will get bad. It won't turn out well for you. Simple as that. So, what others think about you is irrelevant. You shouldn't be worried, nor afraid, nor obsessed with what others think about you, but you have to consider how you affect other people. Can you guarantee others think well of you? No, you cannot. But you can do the will of the Heavenly Father, and by doing your part, they have no reason to think bad of you. And if they still don't think bad of you, it shows that they are of low quality and they have to be avoided. Simple as that. And it shows that the repercussions must follow them if they intend to do you harm. Simple as that. But a human being who totally thinks it's irrelevant what others think about them, not only are they disconnected from reality mentally, they might be dangerous people. They might be reprobate, whether it's a narcissist, sociopath, psychopath. They may be dangerous people that are perfectly fine neglecting you and harming you or putting you at risk just to have their ease. What they're actually saying behind their statement is, when they say, I don't care what others think about me or what others think about me is irrelevant, what's behind the statement is the following. The only thing that matters to me is my ease, nothing else. So, however I affect other people, it only bothers me if it hinders my ease. If I'm at ease doing something, your problem, you guys think about it. That's narcissistic and even psychopathic. So, that's what I mean. You shouldn't just fill in what you think someone means with a statement. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you to examine people's statements. Why are they making statements? Why now? So also check the timing of statements, check the context, the situation where they make statements. Also check if they make similar statements over and over again, because that means something very important to them. Don't just hear someone's statement and compare it to how you think and agree with it if it's similar to how you think, or disagree with it if it's not similar to what you think. Examine people's statements. You need to see what's beyond or behind someone's statement. Because too often, people reveal themselves to you without even being aware of it. Because one thing about human beings, we're designed by Heavenly Father to be transparent and safe. So lying goes against our human design. So when people are lying, their own body will turn on them through body language. And apart from their own human body, the earth itself, which is a living computer, a living intelligence established by the Heavenly Father, will also turn on them. So lying successfully does not exist. You can trick people into a lie, but lying successfully does not exist. It doesn't exist. Okay? So, when someone is of low quality, or when someone has suspicious or questionable motives, they will always tell on themselves sooner or later without themselves being aware of it. You just have to be alert and sensitive enough to pick up the warning symptoms. And one way to do that is by checking what's behind someone's statements. I'm not telling you to be paranoid and to always suspect bad motives from people now. To always be very, difficult on people when they say something. No, don't be like that. It's totally unnecessary. Just be sensitive enough to examine people's statements. Okay? Beware, because too often we don't do this and we end up paying for it later on. And some damages you cannot recover from. If you trust someone to look after your 5-year-old, and this individual ends up molesting your child, well, you made a miscalculation. But now your child is molested. You can't unmolest the child. The child will turn to an adult with probably lifelong psychological damage. So that's something that cannot easily be recovered. You should have examined the individual ahead of time to check whether it's safe to be around your child or not. Well, some people can't even regret anything. A woman may go out on a date with a guy, and the guy ends up losing her mind because she says no to his sexual advances, and he kills her. Well, she should have done her due diligence before she said yes to a date. Okay. And there are more things like this. Let's say you work at an office, and people lie on you. You get arrested. They claim you stole money from the company. You end up going to prison. 5 years later, it comes out it was all a hoax. Now the conviction overturned. You still spend 5 years in prison for a crime you did not commit. You can't get those 5 years back. And you can still recover from the damage, but some things will not be recovered. Some things just have to, you have to take some of the losses. We cannot prevent every bad thing from happening during this lifetime. That's impossible. Not even God expects us to do that. But we have to be ahead of bad things happening. And by being ahead, we often prevent a lot of bad things from happening. So take responsibility, be sensitive, do the will of the Heavenly Father, and never ignore red flags. Be at peace.